So welcome to week 4 of my Spark Startup Ideation unit for Deakin. My vlog just to update you on my mental process and what's going on. This week was interesting. I actually enjoyed this week. I feel like this week's the first week that we actually we had designated time to sit down with our groups and start kind of having a guided brainstorm of what we're actually going to do. So that felt good. We kind of were just like, what's your broad problems that you've been discussing? What piques your interest? And so for us, we're still really sticking with the socializing and the isolation and mental health sort of thing. So which can be broken down into so many things. It can be broken down into mental health. It can be broken down to working from home. It can be broken down into neurodivergency, effects of COVID-19, young mums. It's such a broad thing, but it's something that we all kind of had interest in, like dating. So there's a lot of stuff there that our team seems to be focusing on, that sort of problem, but it's just about narrowing it down at the moment. So then we thought of potential customers. Who's your potential customer in that problem? And at first we started to try naming the demographics and the psychographics of this customer, of who are we going to make this solution for. And we kind of looked at a young adult like ourselves, so a student aged 18 to 25, time poor, casual worker, chronically online. And we already kind of started jumping towards this, who is it we're marketing for? And we weren't going to a solution, but we also weren't thinking about the problem. It was kind of this weird in between. And then we paused a bit in this discussion, and Isaac, the lecturer, was like, let's reel it back in. Let's make sure that we're focusing on the problem. So we came back to the drawing board and we were like, let's break that problem down. And that's where we came to how is this feeling isolated, this lack of face-to-face socialization? What are all the causes? Let's ask why. It's the why 5 times. We need to get to the root cause. So it's kind of like this guessing of what a customer wants. Because you could also get out there and interview them and they don't actually want this, but it's just this brainstorming, let's put ourselves in their shoes and see what we think they want, which was interesting. So we did that and we came up with all those, as I've just mentioned before, the COVID-19, young mums, depression, all that sort of stuff, for why people may not socialize, and deeper root issues. And then you've got to ask, is their goal? We've talked about this idea of goal, the potential enthusiastic customers that need a genuine solution. They haven't got anything. And we just kept having to say, don't think of solutions. And we're like, don't start thinking of solutions till the end of next week. We don't need to do it. Our current task is now to interview customers. So read the Mum Test, which is a book, the first 4 chapters, and then make questions. So we've got to go through and interview real people, real potential customers. And it's like, where do you find them? Well, customers usually congregate around a watering hole, metaphorically. They'll have something that they'll be doing, or this specific demographic, psychographic of people will be together in some way. So you've just got to find that. That depends when you're interviewing students, university students, you're interviewing mums, maybe you go to a baby shop or something like that. Find the watering hole and then go from there. So we walked away tasking everybody in our group, okay, let's go away, interview 10 potential customers, at least 5 of them we don't know. And see. And with the questions that we're going to do, we need to ask why. Do you think you have enough face-to-face social interaction? Yes or no? Why? If they say no, why? Oh, I just don't have a lot of time. Okay, why don't you have a lot of time? I don't have a lot of time because I'm balancing 4 jobs and going to uni. Okay, why are you doing that? Why do you have so many jobs? Cool, because I'm the cost of living crisis. So then you get deeper to the problem. So it's actually a financial pressure is taking away from somebody's social life. So then you try and see if there's a solution to that. That's a bit of a bigger one. We'd probably be looking at something that's a bit more tangible that we can actually do. But that's the kind of process that we've got to follow. So this week we're going away as a group and everybody definitely reading the Mum Test to be able to formulate our questions. Once we've formulated our questions, we're going to go interview customers and then see if there's any gold there. And if there's not, then we start again, we pick a different thing, we interview more customers. And our goal isn't to create a solution, it's to find a problem that needs a solution. So that was good. I felt like we had a bit more, this is where we're going, which was great. And then we had guest speakers come in that have graduated from the course who run their own startups, and they talked about their process, and they actually had 2 problems. They actually did the same one as us, like socializing, and like university students and like struggling to socialize. And then they had, I can't remember what the other one was, but they had a different problem as well. And they went and interviewed a bunch of people across campus, and they didn't get any good results. Nobody seemed to think it was that good, but what they got out of that was there was a resounding problem of procrastination among students. So though they had to scrap their other 2 ideas, which was like not the best feeling ever, they, from those customer interviews, found a little bit of another problem that was cropping up, and then they went and they interviewed 100 people, 100 potential customers, to see if there was an audience, a customer, a problem base for this idea of procrastination and how can we help people, which is really interesting. And then they went on to go with that, and then they created, but they had that basis, they had that backing of people actually want this. We have evidence to back it up, which is what we're after. So yeah, this week just going away, interviewing customers, making sure there's an actual customer, and then next week we can come together, we'll compile it all and see where we're going, see what everybody's got. So yeah, it's an interesting process, and it's really hard not to jump to the end and work from beginning to it's not even like the ground up, because I feel like my brain naturally goes to like a solution. It's work kind of sideways. It's like, what's the problem? Where is there a problem? Is there a problem? Are you sure people want this? And really clarifying as a safety net, so that when you create a solution that's actually going to be wanted. But I'm interested to see what happens next week. So I'll keep you updated. But yes, that is all.